Wait, do you get into arguments with your? Have you ever had an argument with your boyfriend so far? Because like it's one thing.
No, he made me mad once. I think we've made each other mad once, but we never got into an argument.
But
no,
because this is how I sometimes see this play out: is a woman who it leans a bit more masculine. If things are good, then it's fine. But like if there's ever a disagreement or a fight, it's gonna be a little.
We disagree on a
heated,
lot of things. He's a lot. I just got back into Christianity. He's more conservative Christian, value based than I am. So we don't agree on a lot of things. Like a lot of things I say on this podcast, he'd be like, "You're so wrong when you said that," and I'd be like, "Hey," "Hey, bro," But like we agree to disagree, and we know how to respect each other's opinions. And I'm not gonna just sit there and force him to agree with me on something.
Well, do you consider yourself more liberal, right?
I would say I'm very in the middle.
Very in the middle?
I mean, maybe a little bit more liberal leaning, but I mean, I'm pro Second Amendment. Like I
let's go.
Yeah, like I'm not saying, I think there needs to be more regulations on what's going on. I think in some areas we do need, I don't even want to get into this. I have liberal opinions, I have conservative opinions, because in my opinion, based off of what I've read off the Bible, some things are more conservative and some things technically would be a little bit more liberal leaning. So that's what I'm trying to learn more off and base more of my opinions off of.
I feel like the word masculine is being used in place of the word like risque or aggressive, perhaps. I could definitely see that a little bit more. Like people have just sometimes more aggressive personalities. Yeah. That's not necessarily a bad or a good thing. People being too weak can be a bad thing too. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that is a better way to describe what they're trying to say than necessarily masculine. Right. Because while I do believe like everyone can lean into like their more feminine side. Like I hate when a guy is super effeminate. I always say like he's too feminine for me. But I truly don't believe that like a woman could ever embody the masculine side, no matter how hard they tried. And that's why I'm very much against those ideas that like men and women can change themselves, because I think it's innate. And even the most any girl that wants to try to be masculine or whatever, they're still a girl. They're still gonna not equal to a man in that sense of personality.
Like I might come off as super, like my biggest problem my last job as being a manager is I wasn't assertive enough. I would let people walk all over me. I wasn't putting my foot down with a lot of things. That's what was the big issue. And if I had a masculine side to me, I don't think I would have had that problem.
Okay, let's go back to the pick-me thing. Do you have any thoughts on what a pick-me is?
I don't know. It's just
into the mic.
If I'm being honest, like a pick-me is, 9 times out of 10 a girl, who's basically
can a guy be a pick-me?
I've seen it. We've seen it.
Maybe if he's like an ultra simp.
For sure.
No, it's the male feminist.
It comes down to like the beta, or the guys who don't have like that,
the oomph.
The BDE to him is the word. Like
the what?
BDE.
Oh.
The manliness. I always say a manly man.
Hold on.
It's like the guys who normally don't have like, that energy. It's like the alpha energy is the other word.
Yeah.
That are the pick-me's, and we've seen it. Like
I think a lot of nice guys are pick-me's because they need a lot of validation. They need a lot of female validation.
I feel like a male pick-me would make a video that's like, when she's on her period and I just want to bring her chocolate and massage her feet. Please pick me. I've never touched a woman, please.
I feel like all the dudes that like aggressively support like abortion and like feminism, I feel like they're all pick-me's.
Me
Especially
too.
on like social media and stuff. It's
all I see with that is like, I want to have sex with a girl and not be responsible at all. And I'm very pro-life. And I think a huge part is holding men and women accountable for their decisions to bring a life into this world.
Yes.
So if we're going to just let the guy get off the hook so easily, that's not fair to women then.
What do you mean by let a guy get off the hook?
Like these guys that are advocating for abortion, I think abortion only benefits men in the sense of that a man can have, if abortion's totally legal in a state, I don't think a man is going to take as many precautions to protect himself from creating a life. I think it incentivizes people to use abortion as a form of birth control rather than take the necessary steps beforehand. And I just don't see why would a man support abortion? Why?
So the only two kinds of guys that I've ever seen support abortion are the ultra simps that are like, I support feminism, like Biden, all that kind of stuff. The ultra simps and the dudes that are running through chicks and they want that like escape hatch.
I definitely see that side, but when you speak like that, it makes it seem like obviously, yes, abortion is I guess a form of birth control in the end, but it's not. It's not like, oh, either I can get this IUD or just keep getting abortions. Like, obviously, you've probably never had to have an abortion, right, since you're pro-life. An abortion is not just a simple, let me just walk in and, oh, baby gone. It's a very
brutal procedure.
Yes, it's not.
I
but I'm
definitely
not
agree
saying
with
there's
that.
not women who have had multiple or things like that, and there is definitely women out there using it as birth control, but that is a small minority of the people. Don't just make it seem like, yeah, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I can just get an abortion if I don't want to have a kid. Like, maybe there's a few, small percent of women out there like that, but most of the time, a lot of women I know who've had abortions were, honestly, a lot of them kind of sometimes were being safe. Some of them were being idiots. They're like, oh, pull out method, blah, blah,
How
blah,
many
bullshit.
people do you know that have? I don't know a single person.
I don't either.
Yeah, I know
That have had
quite
abortions.
a few.
Yeah.
Do you consider Plan B an abortion?
No.
No,
You
that's
don't
not.
consider Plan B to be an abortion?
That's no
That's-
proof
I don't
or
think that's
not
an
if you had
abortion.
it's
You
too
don't think
early
that's an abortion,
on.
Brian?
No, because I don't think there was a conception.
I
Yeah.
think it's usually when
It
the
kills
sperm
conception.
touches the egg.
It's
is-
you have to take it within 72 hours.
The sperm
There's
has already reached
no-
the egg.
For Plan B?
That's
I
conception.
believe so.
Because there
Yeah.
would be nothing to kill if it didn't fertilize
No,
it.
but
It's
basically,
blocking. It's not killing, it's blocking it from happening.
In order for
It blocks it
conception
from-
to occur, the sperm
Yes.
has
That's not
to
correct.
get. Hold on, guys. In order for there to be a conception, the sperm must swim and make contact with the egg. What if you take Plan B, the sperm has not yet hit the egg.
Yeah, it's not an abortion
true?
pill.
The
It's
sperm.
not an
I don't
abortion
think.
pill.
I don't think
That's
it
not
takes.
true.
It doesn't take 72.
You can take it for up to 72, but
you
I
can
don't
take
know.
it for up to 72. But if you took it 72 hours later, there's a likely chance that the sperm has already reached the egg within 72 hours.
Well,
I
that's why
believe.
girls
So maybe
take
it's
it
a
like
wobble.
we
I'd
do.
have
No,
to-
I
maybe
saw on the
fact check
Kardashians.
it.
I think Kendall Jenner
This-
taught me this on the Kardashians that
That's a great
sperm
source.
can live in your body for like 3 days
It can,
before it
yeah.
impregnates
5 days.
you.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that.
It's
Yeah,
there's
it's-
no
Maybe-
I don't know. I'm not a
conception.
biologist.
Isn't it?
It's 5 days, and the 72 hours is actually just the 96% effectiveness. So that's why they want you to take it within 72
Okay.
hours, but you can take it within 7 days, but the efficacy goes down significantly because conception has occurred at that point. So a lot of women, when they take Plan B, they like shed their, it forcefully sheds your uterine lining so that you're aborting whatever conception occurred. And a lot of women report the fact that they have like clumpy periods and they have like something bigger come out of them.
So there's a
No,
possibility that
dude.
the sperm did
Yes.
reach the egg.
Okay,
I'm
but
not just
kn-
making this up.
I know
After-
your
No, but
career and
if-
stuff.
okay.
But I know people who literally used to pop. Sadly, I don't agree with it. They used to pop Plan Bs like candy. I've never had a single friend say they bled after. I've taken Plan Bs. I've
I think
never
you can
bled
only
after.
take it
You've
3
never had a
times
single
a year.
friend. You've never had a single friend say that they bled after Plan B.
Never. That's never
That's the
happened.
process of which
It's
the
preventing it from
pregnancy-
happening. I've taken probably 3 Plan Bs in my life. I've never bled once from it, and I never had a worse period after.
I was gonna say everyone. I haven't heard the bleeding
That's-
because I don't know that many people that take Plan
That's
B.
a-
But in
that's
college, I know that
abortion.
people
That's
have
an abortion pill.
horrific
That's an abortion
periods
pill,
following
not
Plan
a
B,
Plan B.
and you can only take it like 3 times a year or something like that.
Take what?
Plan B. You
Yeah.
can't just pop
For it
that
to
like
be
it's candy. For
Yeah, it's
and
just
then
a
it can
high dose.
affect.
Effective.
Yeah, and it can affect. I'm sure it can affect fertility or something of the sort.
You're not supposed to take it. You're
Any
honestly not supposed to take it more
hormonal
than like
situ-
3 times in your life.
Exactly, I
honestly.
think that's what it
But people
was.
play with fire with it, and also every time like people try to get pregnant for a long time. It's not just you get, sorry for my language, you get nutted in once and you're pregnant. A lot of the time the Plan B isn't even preventing anything from happening. A lot of
That's
the
a
time
huge
you weren't
thing
even
that-
pregnant. Like
Yep.
you weren't even going to get pregnant. It's just a cautionary
right,
act.
and that's because of like the cycle, the menstrual cycle, right? You can only get pregnant when you're
Like
ovulating.
2 days out of
Yeah.
the month. Yeah.
Right,
think
and
it's
so
like
that's
fi-
and
I
so
think it's like 5
the
days.
stories.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up. The stories that
That's
I've
the
heard
window.
about are
Yeah.
when
The
women
window's 3
take
days.
it and during ovulation, and there was conception, like there was actual fertilization occurred, and they took it, and then it either caused them to have an irregular period or it caused them to bleed out something that was a lot like something that was different.
Could have
I feel
blood
uncomfortable
clots.
talking about this because I've never had a period.
Okay,
but
so
just from
as
what
far
I've
as the Plan B thing,
understood.
I would have to look into it further. It's plausible that it could be an abortion if conception occurred. However, for example, you can have sex and then 5 minutes after you have sex, take a Plan B pill. Conception has not occurred 5 minutes after you've had sex with somebody. So that would not be an abortion, but it's plausible it could be an abortion.
If you took
If you wait
Plan B
long
5
enough.
minutes after you like had sex with somebody, is there a chance that the Plan B won't work?
Yeah.
Yeah, Plan B,
100%.
It's pretty effective, is my understanding.
For the
Not
most
that
part,
I
it's
would
effective.
have
That's why
any knowledge
That's
of.
why it's Plan B, and you can only take it within a certain days because it's not going to force an abortion. If you take it after that time frame, like you're not going to just take it and now you're going to have an
That's
abortion
not true.
or have a miscarriage.
So one of my friends recently told me a story that his buddy got his girlfriend pregnant, and like several weeks after the fact, he mixed a bunch of Plan B into her pancakes, and she like
That's a yikes.
yeah, and like
And a crime.
basically killed her baby.
Okay, I
And,
said
like,
taking a Plan B versus mixing a bunch of Plan Bs together. I'm sure you could you can feed a
obviously
woman a lot of
obviously they're
things that would give
different
her a
things. Obviously they're
miscarriage.
different things, but I'm saying like it can still be effective.
I know, but
Why
there's a
would-
lot of
sending him to
things that
jail.
you could
yeah, he
even
needs
you
to
could
go to jail. That's
I'm
like-
calling the
that's-
FBI.
yeah,
I have a hate
could
crime
like-
to
so
report.
messed up.
you could drink a
So
bunch of
messed up.
vitamin C and force yourself an abortion, but it's not because it's the Plan B that's going to give you it.
Wait, you can get an abortion from a bunch of vitamin
There's
C?
many ways to
Pineapple stuff.
Yeah, there's
That
many
was like
ways to
a-
stop.
I think I learned that from
pregnancy.
American Horror Story. I don't know. This is icky.
Who was the first person to figure out that you could take a bunch of vitamin C?
Who was the
Probably-
first person?
Honestly,
to
it was probably
milk
on
a cow? I
accident,
don't
which is
know.
very, very sad.
Who's like, let me pull these udders. Let me drink that. I don't
No,
know.
it was probably because somebody.
some dude with a fetish for sure.